Okay, missed out yesterday because it got stuck loading a panorama again, but I fixed the bug again, and we're ready to go. Also, I got my screen spray stuff, and that will stop the lenses from fogging up. So we'll squirt a bit of that on. Come on, squirt. Oop, go. Need a tissue. Right, I'm already 2 minutes overdue, so cycle for a bit more. Alright, there we go. I'm going to do a sharp left to begin with because I'm facing the wrong way for some reason. Come on, Bluetooth, connect. We're off. Ah, text, eh? Looks like I left some debug stuff on. Never mind. Text. There's the sound. Kind of. So I'm leaving Penzance today, and I'm traveling east, I think, for a while, and then heading northeast. You know, I really should have tied my shoelaces. Ooh, goodness. Quite pretty houses. Yep, I'm going to stop and tie my shoelaces. See if I can do it without taking the goggles off. There. You can see there's a big delay between when I start pedaling and when it finally realizes what I'm doing. It just takes a second or two to gather data, and then it averages. Ah, crash. These text boxes are very annoying. Wibble wobble. Ugh. Tractor. So at some point I'm going to make a video on how the systems work to get this software working, how to download the direction data and then get the panoramas that go with it. It's not very complicated. It actually uses most of the work comes from other people. Can't remember their names now. I'm not sure why it sometimes gives me panoramas that are way off course, like this one. Why would I want to go there? 30 miles an hour, better slow down. Look at that one. Panorama way over there, in the middle of the roundabout. Why would I want that? Oh, that's going to turn right around again. Now be warned, at some point on this leg of my journey, there's a dead spot that doesn't have any panoramas. I couldn't really work around it, because otherwise I would have had to have cycled along the main motorway, and they're boring. So I'm having to miss out about half a kilometre of cycling. So there'll just be grey screen, a grey sky to look at for half a k. And service will be resumed as normal. It seems like this, the flat panels work really well. They're quite convincing from my point of view. Well, so far my goggles aren't fogging up. Hooray! I think my frame rate's quite low. It looks like it's about 30 instead of 60. Doesn't really make much difference to the overall experience. I think I'm going to put in a reverse gear so I can back up and look at things again. Take a picture. Because there's times when I want to see something more for a little bit longer, but I've gone past it. I think we're just about on the edge of town now. Now the big cycle path I had to avoid a couple of days ago would have been down there. I'm pointing at it like you can see, down there on the waterfront. It would have followed the waterfront along. But like I was saying, there's no panoramas down there, so that would have been boring. Now that I'm pre-caching I'll start again. The first version of this software, I used to load in the textures as I needed them, so I wouldn't preload anything. I'd just stream it in, but unfortunately on the Gear VR that made a noticeable halt. It would just lock up for a fraction of a second, and made it quite horrible to view. So I pre-cache everything now. I was just thinking it might be worth, now that I'm doing that, it might be worth loading up the next texture size up. I should get a lot more detail. Because some of the things, like I can't tell if there's a castle on that island or what it is. I'd like to be able to see that. In the flowers. I like these country lanes. This is why I'm not taking the motorway, because these are a lot more interesting. Crash. Let's have a little shortcut there. It almost feels like a hedge maze. It's about 12 minutes left because I was 2 minutes late starting. It always seems to slowly rotate to the left. I don't know if that's because I tilt my head slightly to the left or what it is. Some lucky Google employee got to drive up and down these roads all day in the sun. Feels like I'm in a leafy dungeon. I'm fighting hordes of white boxers. Hi, hi, hi. Chop, chop, chop. Ooh, forest. I'm off the cliff. Oh. Well, that looks like we're running out of panoramas, so we'll just have to jump cut for half a kilometre. Now I can just make out the white boxes coming up ahead. I'm going to turn left here. It should take me over a motorway. That would have been the motorway I would be taking if I'd not gone on these country roads. Come on, panorama. And activate. And turn on. There we go. Ugh. Don't want to get run over. Pac-Man. Okay, so I went under it instead of over it. When I'm done this journey, it'd be quite nice to visit other countries. I did a little test in Spain, and that was nice, just cycling around. I'd quite like to go to Japan as well, cycle the length of Japan. Just for fun. I'm yet to publish any of these videos, and I'm well aware that already I've got an hour and a half of footage to review and try and compress that down to 5 minutes. And it's going to be fun. Just wait till I've got 86 hours of it. The Google plane data seems to be either flat or a vertical wall. It doesn't seem to cope with slopes, well, not very much anyway. You never see the roofs of houses pitched, they're always flat. You get strange little slopey bits, I'm pointing again, strange little slopey bits in the corners of where a horizontal meets a flat bit, sorry, a vertical meets a flat bit. It puts in little corners, way down in the bottom where they're completely useless. Oh, actually that might be the way I'm building the geometry, the strips of the sphere that's around me, actually, come to think of it. I'll blame Google anyway. Just a couple of minutes left. Actually, I might be ahead of schedule. 19k an hour. I might get there before my time is up. Because I've set it so I'm always doing exactly 9 kilometers, so it doesn't matter how long it takes me. I will get there. Those strange spears that keep stabbing me in the head. Weird geometry. I think that's a me bug, not a Google bug. I'll have to look into that. Not ahead of schedule at all. It's taking me much longer than I thought. Oh, hello. Maybe it never ends. Oh, it's a sharp turn. Blech, blech. Here we are. The end. Save. Save. I should probably put an autosave in because one day I'm going to forget to do that.